When I first tried a Sony, y'all, it was like love at first snap, no lie. It's just chef's kiss right out of the camera. What is up, y'all? Onya here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Sony ZV1 to find out if it is a good camera choice for vloggers and content creators. This is going to be an ongoing series where I test out and review gear that I think may be of interest to my fellow content creators. So if you're looking to pick up some new gear or just elevate your content this year, be sure to hit the subscribe button. All right, so let's hop right into this video. Here is the Sony ZV1 in all its beautiful glory. This is one of many cameras that was created by Sony with vloggers and content creators in mind. When I first tried a Sony, y'all, it was like love at first snap, no lie. Love at first snap. Sony just really understands how to create good content. And a lot of times I don't even have to edit. It's just chef's kiss right out of the camera. The first thing I want to talk about is the size of the camera. Now, if you're a vlogger or a content creator that creates a lot of content on the go, camera size I think is pretty crucial. The Sony ZV1 is relatively small. It's very easy to pack this in your pocket or your purse and just grab it on the go. It's pretty comparable in size to the Canon G7X. I think they literally are the same size. Next up, we have the lens. The Sony ZV1 features a 24 to 70 millimeter lens, which I think is phenomenal, especially if you're a vlogger, because that means that this lens can capture a wide range of content. It can zoom in really close at that 70 millimeter to help you get that nice clean bokeh. It can also zoom out in that 24 millimeter range if you're trying to get like a large area, like, you know, B-roll for your vlog. Not only that, but it boasts a 1.8 to 2.8 f-stop, which is really great if you're looking for that blurry background. 1.8, 2.8, those are magical f-stop numbers. So I'm not mad at the specifications for this lens. It is kind of a powerhouse. Another positive is that it has a built-in ND filter. All you need to know about that is that it's going to help you if you're vlogging or creating content out in the sun. It's kind of like putting sunglasses on your lens. You know how you go outside on a sunny day and you're like, oh my God, I can't see. You put your sunglasses on and it's like, okay, better. That's exactly how the ND filter works. You don't even have to think about it. It's already there. Great work, Sony. Now, the downside of this lens is that you cannot take it off. You kind of get what you get. What you can do is buy some type of lens adapter, which can kind of change the specification of the lens. Just keep in mind that when you start to use adapters, it may impact the quality of your content. Just throwing out. At the top of the camera, I was pleasantly surprised to see that this camera has a hot shoe, which means you can add a light to it or even a microphone. This camera did come with a microphone that you can just kind of slide into place like that, and it just sits really nicely on top.
Here I am testing out the audio without the microphone. Let's see how it sounds when I put the microphone on. I've now added the microphone on. Hopefully you notice a difference. Hopefully it's a little bit more clear.
Battery component is down at the bottom. It uses one battery. Battery life kind of leaves a lot to be desired. You can capture about maybe 250 to 300 photos and about 45 minutes of video on one battery charge. It's not that great, especially if you're filming on the go. One thing you don't want to happen is for your battery to die. So I would say buy backup batteries if you do get this camera, at least 2, 3, 4 really if you can, just so you're never in a position where your camera's dead and you need it. The camera does have a flip out screen, which is great, of course, if you're filming content. You need to be able to see if there's a hair, eyelash out of place. You need to see those things, so thank you for that, Sony. Okay, so let's get into the details that you really care about, right? First up, let's talk about autofocus. Something I have to commend Sony on is that they really do a good job when it comes to autofocus. And the Sony ZV1 does not disappoint. For example, if you're recording, let's say, a makeup tutorial and you hold a product up to the camera, it does a good job of removing focus from your face and focusing on that product and then bringing the focus right back to you. That is crucial, especially if you're recording beauty content or if you're out on the go and you want to hold up a bagel and you need the camera to get it together and focus on what you're showing it. This camera does exceptionally well. There were times when it was a little bit slow, but honestly, it did better than I expected it to do. The stabilization of the camera is not that great, so I would recommend using something that you can hold to help keep your footage, to help keep the camera stable and therefore your footage more stable, because holding it like this, if you're walking and moving a lot, your image is going to be a little shaky. Now, when it comes to blurry backgrounds, as I mentioned earlier, this lens does a really good job of that, especially at that 70mm range when you push it all the way in, get close. And also that aperture of 1.8 to 2.8 really helps you get that blurry background. One feature that I know a lot of my fellow creators are going to be really excited about with Sony ZV1 is the built-in soft skin effect, okay? So if you're like me and you weren't born with flawless, poreless, bagless skin, totally okay. I love it, I embrace it. But if you're looking to kind of smooth out your features in the content that you create, that soft skin effect is going to come in handy. And the great thing about it is that they have different intensities. If you want to just obliterate your pores, like pores, I don't know her, who is she? They have a high setting, a medium setting, and then a low setting if you're just looking for a little bit of skin softening. I personally think the high setting was a little bit too extreme, like you can see the filter on the video, but to each his own. Some people are gonna love that. I just love that it's a built-in feature. So you can wake up early in the morning and just kind of like get in front of this Sony ZV1 and it will have your skin's back. Let's slow clap it out for that. Now you cannot shoot in RAW if you want to use this feature. You have to shoot in JPEG. The camera does film 4K video, music to our content creation ears, right? And it has an ISO range of 125 to 12,800. In simplest terms, that means this camera should perform really well in low lit environments, which is great if you're vlogging or creating content, maybe at a dinner or an event where there's not a lot of lighting. All right, that brings us to the end of this review on the Sony ZV camera. The only question left to answer is, should you buy it? My answer, it really depends on what you're looking for in your camera. Are you looking to just vlog with it, so you prioritize, the size of it? I say go for it. It's a great small size camera that is going to be great if you're on the go. Now, if you're looking for a camera that you want to, take really good photos with, and video and size is not necessarily that important to you, but I do think there are better camera options for you. Sony released a full line of vlogging cameras. I actually also have the Sony ZV-E10, which I'm also going to review. And I think that one is a more well-rounded camera, but this video is about the Sony ZV-1. So yeah, if you're just looking for a small size vlogging camera, this is a good option. It's very comparable to the Canon G7X, same size, similar features. I think similar price points if I'm not mistaken. It's a great buy, so I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. All right, that is it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time, toodles.